What up, y'all? EFS family, back for another audio occasion, a podcast for self-starters and those willing to make the most out of any situation. And we got some interesting audio coming from one of the legends that I admire most in the hip-hop game, so here we go.
Are you playing me?
People try to hide his health. Maybe everybody's not going, yo, it's
In a
cool
couple years, yeah.
Because
I
they
appreciate
see a dollar in it, but it's not about a dollar. You're your biggest dollar. You can't enjoy a dollar if you're not doing good life. If your health is bad, I don't care how much money you have. If you're in the hospital, you can't enjoy it. I can enjoy $20 in good health more than you could enjoy $20,000 in bad health. Because once you feel good, like your mind starts telling yourself you could do more.
And that's simple and sweet. We're going to go short on the way in. A lot of my pod lead-in intro has been a little bit on the long side, so we're going to keep it short and sweet today. Get y'all ass in the gym. Make sure y'all eating right. And then get yourselves right and together for the 2025 year that's about to be upon us very soon. But one air horn, two air horns, a couple more air horns, and an abundance of air horns on the way in for the gang, the EFS podcast, along with the family that is you, the listeners, the viewers. We are back for episode number 39. Aging like fine wine. We are divine, aging like fine wine for episode number 39. I am your host, D. Burke, and as always, if you made it to the audio/visual occasion, please do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We love the love over here at the EFS podcast. And in the house today, we got my man Waldo Black, just the two of us. We had our biggest pod the last time around, so we figured we'd create a little bit more space on the couch today. You know, it was a little crowded. A lot of opinions last time around. We had to sub you out, you know.
Sub me out, man. Got me out of there.
Yeah, my man had to check out the game to go do some other shit. So, but yeah, man, we back. Episode number 39 is upon us. We got some great topics to discuss today and some that I'm not so excited about. But hey, fuck it. It's just that time of year, time of every 4 years, I guess. This one hit a little bit different though, man. Yeah? And I want to get this shit just out the way just because we,
get it out the way,
there's
man.
so much other things to get to.
Tell me how you feel.
Actually, there ain't that much to get to, which we determined as we was writing up our topic board for the day. So as I fade this out on the pre-pod, first checking in mentally, physically, spiritually, how are we doing?
You know, I'm indifferent.
You're indifferent.
Ineffable.
What? Ineffable.
Yeah. Hey Siri.
We doing this out the gate?
Ineffable.
You ain't even wait till 5 minutes after the intro to drop a...
Affable means friendly, good-natured, or easy to talk to.
That's not the one I wanted, but that's a good one too, affable. But I was like ineffable, which is like, it's like the opposite of that, what you know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. All right.
No, it's like, no, it says ineffable, too great or extreme to be expressed or described in words.
Oh, okay.
That's the definition. Like, I ain't got words for it. I'm just existing in the pantheon of life. Yes.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing, right? When it comes down to it, it's holiday season. The pressures of getting to the bag, get your money up, that's there. The politics, everybody's in a tizzy. Everybody's emotional. Everybody's upset. Or they're trying to be what's the word, antagonistic.
Facts.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of emotions involving all that, and I'm just like, I'm okay.
A lot of that antagonistic.
I'm all right. You know what? Call of Duty's about to drop the Warzone.
It's not out already?
No, Warzone is about to do a new season.
But the new Modern Warfare dropped, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Black Ops 6. I got that. That's on fire. But what I'm saying is the new Warzone, which is like
today.
the newest joint, that's gonna be out. So that's where my energy's at, bro. I'm not even allowing the
big gamers. I've been getting back into the gaming recently
energy.
too, man.
Gaming energy is my joint, man.
Yeah, man. Gaming energy is great. It's hard to fucking do all that shit though when you got so many other fucking things.
You got responsibilities.
So you ain't got time to game, but got a couple sessions in recently, but enjoy it.
You ain't let me know. You gotta tell me when you're online, bro.
I mean, I'll be trying, but then some other shit coming, getting away and all that shit. So but yeah, now I'm about to cop that Black Ops though.
Yeah, please, man. That's been my focus.
I'm gonna put that on the list today. All I gotta do is go home, throw that shit on the joint, download,
and it'll be there by tomorrow. That depends on your internet.
My internet fire, but them download files be big as a motherfucker.
So big, ridiculously big.
But yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a file.
It's just how that shit says. Niggas and you are so big.
It's a file.
Nah, facts. Nah, I feel you. No misogyny. No misogyny.
No misogyny.
No misogyny. No homophobia.
Homophobia.
They're just big files.
It's just big files.
It's big files.
But at the end of the day, that's where I've been like, it's been like not like escapism, but it's like a little bit like a distraction. Not saying that I need it, but I definitely utilize it. And it's not overabundant. It's just in moderation. You know, you hop on the game, you know, you do this, that, and the third.
Yeah, because that's when the girls start calling you all kind of shit when you play the game too much. Some girls.
I think look, you already up to your antics. No,
I ain't no antics.
I think sometimes, at least in my experience, it's not the game, it's the lack of intention towards like spending time together. That's what I've got.
That's like a Uno reverse card. You just fucking play it.
You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like I've been. It'd be something that they like. I'd be like, yeah, yo, what's up? I'm here. Where you at? Like, give me some of that attention. Like, what we doing here? It could be this. It could be a reverse joint. You know what I'm saying? It could be a reverse joint. Because I definitely feel like.
Is that toxic though?
Is it toxic that I don't get the attention that I'll be?
No, is it toxic to play the reverse card? And we got other places to go, but this is
no. We can talk about it. Yeah. Here's the thing. I don't think it's toxic because everybody has needs, right? Mm-hmm. It's all about is it malicious in your description? Like, are you doing it on purpose to be manipulative, or are you genuinely expressing your feelings and your concerns? Right? It's like if you come from the place of if you come from the place of I genuinely like care and miss you, even if it's about the game. Like, I mean, most dudes, not all. But most dudes will hear you and go, all right, can I finish this round or can I finish whatever this is, and then we can spend some time together. You know what I mean? And usually a girl will be like, okay. Or if your relationship is toxic, he's like, nah, I'm not getting off the game. You should have told me earlier. Like, it is what it is, right? You got to find out what. This is
my time.
This is my time. You should have told me earlier. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
But like, if you have a open communication in your relationship, you can go back and forth and find out a compromise, man. There's going to be sacrifices in a good relationship. You're not going to win everything.
Bet.
Back and forth, though. That's what my brain said.
And with that said, man, we're going to open this thing up out the gate so we can get all this bullshit off the table. Reactions to the most recent presidential election cycle for, you know, all the positions, because it's not just the president, you know. Yeah. Yeah, this shit wild out here.
What you feeling, man?
Me? What I'm feeling?
What you feeling?
I feel good. Like, that shit ain't got me tripping. There's all these other niggas out here that you got to worry about. Like, if I'm just being honest, like, you know, it's on the board. So shit, we gonna roll it out. I think Donald Trump was elected for another term. First felon to be elected to the president.
Damn, that's kind of hard though. Like, you think about that.
It's a little hard.
First felon,
if you look at it like, you know,
if you the first felon, you a felon and you still, that's kind of hard. I'm not trying to say it's good.
It's fun. It was a comedian, the dude on Saturday Night Live. I forget what the black dude name is. That's on there. I'm blanking on it right now. But he said some shit they was doing the daily news segment that they do, and he was saying how Donald Trump elected to a presidential position, whatever, first felon ever, whatever, and he said, oh, well, if white people can elect Donald Trump to the presidency as a felon, then I'm gonna start listening to R. Kelly again. And he made a joke of it. He said, shit, I already do, but I'm going to just stop acting like I don't now, because it's clearly okay that, you know, felons can be in positions of power and all that other shit. So funny little joke about it.
But you know, that opens another thing for me.
It made you think
about it.
It made you think.
No. Like, I really think about what happened. If he's elected as president and he was a felon, that means you could be a president and be a felon, but you can't vote and be a felon.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I heard that one already. You brought that one up. I did see that one floating out there, like, leading up to the elections. People were saying, like, if this guy gets elected, like, then we got people that can't vote with the same kind of status as him as a felon. So, yeah.
That's such an interesting dilemma.
Yeah.
Something we never even fathomed for the presidency.
And free speech, because he's talking all this free speech shit, so don't get this shit taken down. I'm sorry.
I just look at it. I look at it like this.
Bro.
When are we going to stop pretending like Donald Trump isn't clever?
Donald Trump is great for certain things. I will say that.
They'll clip that up real quick.
No doubt, and they will. But if we're just gonna be honest, we got to look at the fact that he was great at executing a path back to the fucking White House, in a time where the other party was asleep at the wheel, literally.
I think I don't know if he's great at carving the path out, or he's great at creating division and feeding his base. Whether that's part of getting to the White House, I agree. But I think that's what he accomplished. He fed the base. He gave them what they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Made the promises. It's almost like Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey. Hurry, step right up, the greatest show on earth.
Oh, no doubt. But you can say he held his base for sure, but he gained the base too. He flipped a lot of niggas over to that side.
He did.
He flipped a lot of people over to that side.
I think some of those campaigns that they ran against Kamala were tactical.
Duh.
And
they did nothing about it. Is the thing.
Yeah.
And I know everybody feel away. We just gonna keep it. For me personally, I'm just gonna keep it funky here, and I'm not the first podcast creator or whatever. Stephen A. saying it, this podcast saying it, this podcast saying it. The Democrats did a fucking terrible job. They
thought they had it.
I'm not surprised. That's the
she was doing SNL
sleep
shows,
at the wheel,
TikTok dances,
sleep at the wheel.
Maybe that wasn't going to be enough to get the people that really vote, and those are the older demographic.
She relied on the shit she was already gonna get and did nothing else outside of that. The support from all the black people and the support from the women.
Yep.
Black women, but mainly.
Black women mainly.
And there's no shades to the queens. But if we just gonna keep it funky, and I'm not gonna be the divisionist person between black people just because I stand with my people on many things and many issues and just the treatment of my people in general. But y'all gotta cut the bullshit with the blaming black men shit. That was the most perturbing part about it to me, just because I was not, upset about the election going the way it did. My perspective is still Kamala, Donald, it don't fucking matter. The same path forward for myself, and what I want from my life is gonna be none of that shit really matters to me in that regard. But, just having all the people online, mainly a lot of women, that black men shit, that y'all ain't come out and this is that, whatever, or y'all didn't rep for y'all people. The numbers show black men overwhelmingly still voted for Kamala Harris. They put the polls out. It didn't even take a fucking day. I saw that shit the next day.
She got Delaware. You ain't got to worry about that.
Yeah, but just all the shit. There's a misogyny in the black community and all the other shit. That shit was tactless. It was kind of tacky, and it left a bad taste in my mouth. Damn, as soon as you and one of my homeboys, we was DMing back and forth because. As soon as the next day I posted a little thing on my story. He was like, bro, for real. I'm like, bro, they ain't even wait 24 hours. It was the next morning. They taking a chance to bash black
Blast the black man.
That shit corny.
Let
corny.
me
the people online getting mad at the people who didn't vote, and I'm just keep it funky. I voted against my better judgment because I told myself I was gonna sit the fuck out. And then I actually went to the polls and said, fuck it, I'm gonna just do this shit,
Get it done.
I'm gonna really look at things. I really waited up until the day of. I woke up to that morning, I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
But even the people that didn't vote, the backlash that they was getting online, I'm just like, bro, this is very unnecessary and very, again, just it sounds whiny, angry, almost hateful just because shit didn't go your way. Motherfuckers sound like a bunch of toddlers out here right now. And I'm not saying that to say that you don't have the right to feel however you want to feel.
I'm trying to figure my
I'm
words
sorry
out.
if it sounds like I'm trying to down y'all.
No, go ahead, man.
Feel how you want to feel, but a lot of y'all is just yelling and it's literally yelling. I ain't gonna say the creator's name because she has a pretty big voice online, and
I don't care.
I actually think she's
it.
cool and she's fire. I ain't shooting at nobody like that because this ain't for that. But one of y'all black creators, beautiful black queen, woman, whatever. She has a great following, and the morning after, she gets on there selfies herself on video, talk about all you people that's bragging about how y'all didn't vote, you're fucking idiots, and this is going in on them, that type of shit. And to me, it's just And not to say that bragging about not voting is the thing to do, but like, again, reserving your right to say, I don't like either of these, and then I don't want to vote for either, should still be okay, you know? And all the people that's like the lesser of two evils and all that bullshit, like, I mean, it's just a lot.
It's a lot. It is a lot. I'm trying to find a way to segue, because I definitely agree with a lot of what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
There is pieces I don't, but I don't know if I even need to go into that.
I mean, free to speak, bro.
Yeah, I know that, and I just want to, because I think in tough times we do this, right? We do this so often. Like, I look at it as like, as our culture, we need to have our own platform for us to have a conversation, because I feel like when I was younger, right? When my mom would take us to the store, she was like, don't act out, because if you do, when you get home, I'm going to get that at. So, and I was like, man, she ain't going to do nothing. I'm going to test it. Showed out in the store.
And then when you got your ass home.
But when I got home, my ass was whooped. But the point I'm trying to make is we're in public. We're not in private. Like, I understand the feelings and emotions of being upset. And then when you in anger, sometimes you speak out of turn. That's fair. But you doing it on a platform where they're watching, you're not in private. And I think sometimes when I'm looking at some of the people that post about their reactions and their feelings and their emotions, they keep thinking that they're not accessible to everybody. This is a us conversation that we need to have with us. And you posting online with everyone accessing, you gotta go. Wait till we get home.
Everybody got a phone, bro, and everybody got a camera.
But I think that's my biggest problem, is because we don't have a space at current as the Black community to kind of check and recheck and talk and discuss and hash our feelings. For that. I agree with you.
That's the number one thing.
Bro, I agree with you. And we're not working towards unity by us then saying that we going at the sisters that said what they said. I give grace, man, because they messed up. I agree with that. They spoke out of turn. I agree with that. But
they don't feel that way still, though, which is the crazy thing. And I ain't trying to tell them how to feel, but it's like, for me, I don't know. Like, it's hard to even get into it without it sounding like it's a tit for tat thing, but shit is just, it's a lot for y'all to just be out there with so many feelings.
If we look at our society, bro, this was the first time ever that a Black woman made it to this level. Qualified, did all the things right, got to the point where she's got to the peak. For Black women, it feels like a betrayal. Sure. And I'm just giving you the full scope.
No doubt.
So when it's like, when they're there, I can understand when that pain hit and they saw them numbers and they saw that white man win. I'm like, nah, sister, nah, queen, let it out. I understand you in pain. I just wish you did it in private. We in public right now. Everybody's watching right now. Come back home. But we don't have a home for them.
Sure.
We didn't create a platform or an environment where us as a community can speak about our issues without worry or fear. Like, think about it. Oh, how many Black places can we go? They used to be Oprah, now it's Club Shay Shay, I guess. We can go speak and sit down and be Black and it be accepted and be. I mean, that's even that platform is not
celebrities, though. We talking about everyday people or people with like smaller followings. It's like influencers and all that other shit. There ain't no space for that. But at the end, I understand people who feel a way about it, like it happening. Like your candidate that you wanted to go for did not win. Sure, I understand that. You know. You also have to look at the job that was done leading up to it and then be realistic, because it's a lot of like somewhat delusion about how good of a job she actually did in running for the presidency. And I'm of the mindset that she got set up to fail from the jump. So for me, it's like, if you see a fucking house burning down, don't be surprised when the shit turned to ashes right in front of you. Like, there was at no point where everyone was like Kamala. Like, we all in for her like that. Like, there was so many questions across the board about her. And then you wanted to make it she's a woman thing. And yes, there are a sector of people that was not going to fuck with her just because she's a woman. So this is not any kind of denying of misogyny in the situation. Mm-hmm. But you also have to kind of be better at certain things with connecting to your base. Because like I just said, Donald Trump gained a base.
Mm-hmm. He didn't improve.
She kept her base. The people that's just going to loyally follow her, one, because she's black, and because you don't want the other guy in the White House, those people are going to vote for her anyway, no matter what the hell she actually said or did. Yeah. The other people is where she did not pick them up along the way, and she actually lost people that would have liked to vote for her if she was a better candidate or if she was a better person to put in the role per their opinion. And everyone could have whatever opinion about it as they want, but you can't be upset at someone who did not think she was doing a good job enough to believe in her just because you say, this guy, we don't want him in the White Office, so we should overwhelmingly vote for her. Like, okay. You know?
Okay.
That to me is like the part of it that's like, she got to connect with people. If you don't connect with it, then you just casting like it's a vote just to fucking do that shit.
Yeah.
And voting, the premise of it and the real democracy in it is like, you should believe in the people that you're voting for on a local level, even more so than the national level, because that's going to have a lot more of a direct effect in your life.
Yes.
But even on a national level, like, is you voting for the lesser of two evils is not necessarily going to connect with everybody. And you can't be mad at someone to say, fuck it. Like, let's just see what happens. Like,
yeah, I mean, here's the thing. There's a potential that the Republicans own the Senate and the House.
Facts.
And the presidency and the Supreme Court.
No doubt.
So at this point, everything is in the Republicans' hands to do what they need to do. If the country does not improve, they have no one to blame. They have literally no one to blame. Nothing's stopping them. Nothing's in their way.
And it's not going to improve. Like, this. That's from my feeling. It's not going to improve that drastically for the everyday individual. Like,
that's fair.
Inflation's still going to inflate. I don't know why everyone's thinking that Trump is going to be in presidency and gas prices going to go down and shit going to be that much cheaper.
Well, the gas prices did go down. I don't know if you noticed that.
I mean, no doubt. They're going to fluctuate. They're going to go down a little bit. The shit didn't.
I was like, two something.
Yeah, nah.
Give me a full tank.
Of course. I'm going to take advantage when the shit low, but the shit is not going to stay that way forever. Inflation's going to continue to inflate. Like, it just happens. That shit is more expensive across decades in history. Like, the shit don't get no cheaper like that. And then again, my perspective is that the way the economy and jobs and everything is set up, it's not going to get better for people. And I'm not going to go in a deep, dark wormhole like that right now. But anyone thinking that Donald Trump was going to save some shit is like, you are also operating from a place of like, it's just a little bit of ignorance about how shit is running right now. Like, you know, certain things might get better. Like, sure. Certain things might get worse.
Do you think that there's going to be another attempt? Because I know that was a whole situation where somebody, I think it was Iraqis, tried to was planning an attempt on his life.
I think they were saying one of the Iraqis was the one that planned one of the attempts previously. I think the second one.
I thought it was recent.
I mean, I ain't looked that much into it. There's a lot of shit that was going on. I did see something about Iraqis being involved in an attempt on his life.
Or
but
somebody.
I think it was they were trying to connect an Iraqi to one of the previous attempts, I think. I want to say the second one. Don't fact check me. I'm not an actual journalist or reporter. I'm talking about the people.
It wasn't Iraq. It was Iran. Iranian operative.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 3 days ago. According to 3 days ago, he was an Iranian operative, was accused of a Trump assassination plot.
Yeah, but I think it was for one of the previous ones.
Okay.
I think the second one that didn't actually hit his ear or whatever and all that other shit. But yeah, I mean, Donald Trump is the president. We got 4 years. Like, you know, I think the best thing right now is that people gonna wake the fuck up after this one. And all that other back and forth shit between men, women, black, white, all that other stuff. Like, the people who are really trying to make a change in society or for the better should be starting to collect themselves right now.
I mean, I'm here, man. I'm dedicated.
Collect yourselves right now. All that other shit that you yelling, like, get your feelings out. I want everybody to get their feelings out. If you're angry about it, if you're sad about it, you have the right to express those feelings. Don't go tearing other people down for their perspectives over it, though.
That's fair.
Because that, to me, is like the whack part. Just because you didn't get your way of what you wanted or what you think is going to be the best path forward for society. Like, alternate reality, Kamala gets elected and she does a terrible fucking job over the next 4 years. You just create a path going forward even more for there to be more bullshit behind it.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Rather than whatever we got going to happen, whatever is actually going to happen now when he rolls out his day one initiatives and plans and executive orders and all that other shit. And going forward, we got 4 years to see what this shit really gonna look like.
It's gonna be interesting.
Like, everybody get your shit in order. Like,
subscribe to the new I guess Donald Trump TV series, because it's gonna be a wild.
I mean, it's
story.
out here. You're gonna see it. He all over the place now.
Yeah,
he all over the place now. And not for nothing, I ain't gonna say too much on it, but some of the shit he talking right now, it's like I kind of get it. Like,
which one? I don't even know what he's talking about.
With his videos he been doing on day one, I'm gonna do this, and my next order of business will be to just like the free speech, and then all the other shit he doing. Like, yeah, I'm with some of that shit that he talking about.
I can't wait to see. I
want to see how it rolls.
I want to see how it rolls out.
They already.
I think it's gonna get interesting, and people are gonna get triggered.
They're gonna get triggered.
They already
clash. They already are.
It's gonna start.
I know the whole immigration thing is a sensitive topic for people. I know the whole transgender and LGBTQ thing is a sensitive topic for some people. I have my own feelings about some of that shit, but I'm not going to put that out on this platform because, again, I'm still trying to grow. But at the same time, like, there's things that can go one way or other with the path of the country. Yeah. I'm not as mad about some of the things that he said he's going to do in his first whatever,
Yeah, I just
rest of it we just gotta wait and fucking see.
Nervous.
I'm not expecting much. I'll say that. Yeah. I'm not expecting much, and I am expecting a lot of bullshit. But at the end of the day, the path forward with Kamala and with Trump, my perspective is the same.
Thank you.
Get your shit rolling, get your shit in order, get your money, and do what the fuck you got to do for your people. Like, literally, that. Yeah. Without all the other like bullshit, because the mindset should always be the mindset. The path forward should be the path forward. And again, niggas got to start doing for themselves. Like, niggas have to start doing for themselves. Get your mind right. Get your businesses in order. Get your perspectives about what you need to do individually to then have collective unity with the people you can organize with, so y'all can have some real power, real influence, and start to do things on a maybe local level that can grow, and like that kind of shit is what we should be at. We know too much already.
Doing, I forgot the name of it. I think it's like BP 2025.
For what? What's that?
It's like that's the unity thing that you're talking about, like Black Project 2025 or something like that, and they're trying to bring
whatever that shit
all
is.
the black people together to kind of like.
But y'all gotta have real perspectives too, like real understandings. Like, shout to the Earn Your Leisure podcast and the network and all that shit, and 19 Keys. I've been watching a lot of them this last week, like, if I'm just being honest, because I do respect the black economists and people that understand investments and all that other shit, and breaking down why the market is doing this, why the market is doing that in a way that's tangible for people of our color to kind of like connect to. They gave great breakdowns about all this shit over the past week. And what I realized even more so now, which I already thought, is like, again, Kamala or Trump, none of that shit should fucking matter. Like, none of it. None of it should fucking matter, because as a people, we still worried about the wrong shit, which is having our hand out to the government to say, like, we're expecting this from you.
Yeah.
What we should expect from the government is a place that we can live and earn without having to be worried about our lives being taken, being battered and bruised and all that shit by the government officials and all that other shit. Like, that is the stuff that we should have a better feeling about. And I know police brutality is still a thing. All that still exists in America. Racism is a thing. So I'm not going to sit here and act like that shit doesn't happen. But at the end of the day, outside of those things, we should still be worried about how to educate ourselves, how to earn money for ourselves, how to uplift the other people that look like us, so that we can all be collectively in a better space in our own businesses, the black business owners, the people that that got some shit that, they can sell to like advance their lives. We should all be worried about those kind of things.
Okay.
Because that is the main thing going forward. It's going to get harder for people to earn money. So how are you going to earn money? How are you going to support yourself and not be in a position to where you have to rely on the government assistance? Like, we live in a capitalist society. It's been that way.
Yep.
So the only thing that really America respects is a fucking dollar. Whether you red, blue, white, black, left wing, right wing, the country has always respected a fucking dollar.
Dark wing.
Duck. Word. So why not get to it? Why not get to it? And I know there's ways that people need help and people need assistance, of course. I understand all that. So I'm not, again, trying to alienate any of those people from the conversation, but people be worried about the wrong fucking shit with this whole politics thing.
Oh, sorry.
We got too many examples throughout history. We have too many people that told us, like, the government is always going to be the government.
They
Like,
don't
what
really
are you
care
doing?
about. They don't really care about us.
Mike said it. Like,
come on,
Mike said it.
Come on.
You think he meant just fucking Republicans or just Democrats? Like, no, this shit been around forever. Like, the country's been the country. Like, we have to start acting differently as a people. But again, the whole Malcolm X, deaf, dumb, and blind shit, like, it's like people just want to stay in that perspective. And it's like, bro, that shit, like, when that shit changes from there, then we actually really talking about something.
Interesting.
When that shit changes, then we actually really talking about something.
We have to be, I think it takes brave voices to speak up and say things similar to what you're saying and not be afraid in order for that change to start to grow legs. Because, you know, Malcolm X, you said, what happened to Malcolm X? You know
for sure.
There's people that want us divided.
And it's working.
And they can't, and I'm talking about division within the black community, division between white, black, and brown. I mean, division on all, like, because if we come together, like the movie Ants, if they start to realize that they're stronger together, then we won't be able to control them anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's their biggest fear. The quotable there. And before I go again down a rabbit hole, I agree with a lot what you're saying, man. I think we're gonna have to take this. This is probably gonna be something that has to live on through the next 4 years about how we're gonna at least use this moment instead of losing this moment. Let's use this moment as the spark to make that change. Starting with ourselves, starting internally,
an opportunity,
and then building it in our communities, building it with people across the world, across the globe, across the country, and hopefully this time around, next 4 years, next election, on a major scale, but next 2 years. Cause you got
they roll around every 2 years.
So next 2 years.
Every 2 years.
That effective change can be made.
Like,
and we'll see what's up.
For real. Like I said, people just get in line and just hang tight. Like, hang tight and just make the most out of what you can with the current state of things. But it got to start with your own outlook on this whole shit, for me,
I agree.
And that's that, man. The whole election political shit ain't my lane. I do have perspectives. I'm offering here because this is an open and free platform for not just, sports, but whatever, And that's been a big thing. We've touched a lot of topics here. I don't plan on being a political pundit. Like, I'm sorry. Like, we here right now.
Hey.
Y'all want to hear it. Y'all want to talk about it. So there we go, Moving forward from there.
We want to hear from you too, though. Exactly. Just make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share the podcast.
And if you mad, like, drop a comment. I don't care. Express your opinions. I have mine. If you disagree, I'm all for like healthy discourse, like, and just being able to, share thoughts. But
your voice matters.
All that attacking shit is lame. It's corny. Like, you sound mad and you sound, But again, be mad, but direct it in a way that's a little bit, shit ain't constructive. A lot of it ain't constructive. But I guess moving forward, man, we'll get to something that's a little bit more in our wheelhouse. I guess as a NBA podcast fans.
Talk about some sports, man.
Let's talk about some sports, man. Some good old feel-good shit, because at the end of the day, throughout all this political shit, I just watched a lot of fucking sports on the back end. Like, I'm turning CNN off, throw the game on, like something like that. Something that's going to be feel good. And I know we ain't always gonna feel good just because that ain't the way of the world, but you gotta disconnect sometimes and get back to shit that you just actually enjoy versus the tense climate that we're currently in. So NBA, it's been rolling. Any thoughts about what you've been seeing so far? We get to the sports very, very quickly here on that. I'm exiting stage left.
You want to talk about sports? You want to talk about sports, man? Talk about it, man.
Let's do it.
What's the team you've been most impressed with since the beginning of the season?
Cavaliers.
Yeah, Cavs going stupid.
Cleveland Cavs.
Imagine if LeBron had this team, man.
Yeah, it's a different thing. Alternate reality. That's what we ain't gonna take anything from.
He's still in the league. Now. He can leave and come back home next year.
Nah, he ain't.
You don't think he can finish his career in Cleveland?
If he wants to actually do that, then sure. But I think everybody will see that for what it is at that point.
This was for you.
But they've been playing well. Cleveland's playing well. I like what they're doing. I like the way they share the ball. Very unselfish teams. They do a lot of throw-ahead passes, which I enjoy. Like, get the ball up the floor quickly, advance the ball without dribbling it, like that type of shit. And it's working well for them. We'll see how it plays out throughout the rest of the season. But early season grade A for me. Early season grade A, what I'm seeing from them. I'm a little bit more impressed than I thought I would be with the Warriors on the West Coast side of things. I wasn't expecting them to be that successful out the gate with all the changes that they've currently went through, losing Klay Thompson and all that. But
didn't they get blown out the other day?
Sure, they took some losses.
Yeah, they got blown out like 50.
Right, but they are also top team in the West still right now. They're 8-2. Suns is 8-2 as well, doing well, out the gate. But I'm more impressed with the Warriors just because the Warriors don't have shit with Steph Curry and a bunch of like Steph Curry is the big draw on that team. Draymond Green is a declining player. So they got a lot of young people, that's younger players and people that's stepping into bigger roles that's doing well for the team. So I think that it's impressive what they're doing.
Yeah.
OKC as well. Impressed with OKC. What I about to say? Oh no, Chet. Get well, Chet. He took an injury last night. He broke his hip bone, so he'll be out 8 to 10 weeks. Big blow for them.
That's a huge blow.
But playing well out the gate. Some odd injuries out the gate too. There's been some funny shit, like just Zion out again.
Something in the water.
I told you we talked about Zion. He out again. So
what happened to him?
What is his shit? I forget.
Let me pull it up. Hold on a second.
Yeah, I just seen it. I'm blanking on it. My memory is shitty. But yeah, he's out again.
I'm pulling it up now.
I just saw it. I just had it earlier.
Hamstring.
Yeah, and having dealt with those, that ain't. Them joints take a while to come back from.
Yeah, man.
Them joints take a while to come back from. So, best of luck. Speedy recovery and all
Trey
that.
Murphy's out too. So
yeah,
it's a lot. It's a lot of injuries.
It's a lot. Fucking the Pelicans, mad at they players injured, actually. That's what I saw the Zion shit when they was talking about all the players that's injured on their roster.
Mm-hmm.
They decimated right now with injuries.
I don't know what's going on. Is something affecting the gameplay or something?
I mean, I have perspectives on it, but I don't
is
know
it because they don't have
scientifically.
D. Burke as the trainer? Is that what it is?
Nah, because a lot of dudes that know a lot more about that shit than I do. I ain't going to get too big for my britches.
I was trying to throw you an alley-oop right there.
Oh, nah, fuck with me. Fuck with me. Like, on this level, like with the people that I'm working with and the people that I'm trying to connect with, definitely fuck with me. But there are people in the NBA that I respect and, like I said, I don't skip steps. I ain't going to put my name to be in that circle just yet just because those dudes know what the fuck they doing on that level. Or they should. They should. But I have know some friends, again, that have been in the league that expressed, like, how great some of the training staffs are. But I just think that right now, and KD has a calf strain. Yeah, that just came back to my mind as we was talking about all this shit. But sorry, got off track. But, yeah, I think that right now, this is my perspective. And, again, I don't have any scientific backing for this. But I think the way players are a lot stronger, faster, everything now involved with the pace of the game that we play, a lot more high tempo, up and down the floor, running, gun, like that kind of shit. I don't think that every player is suited for that style, and that's where we may be seeing some of these injuries from. And some of the shit is just, like Chet shit was different. He fell on his hip. I saw how that shit looked. He broke his shit like that, But some of this other shit would be like wear and tear on the body. Like, and sometimes your body just gives the fuck out at the wrong time, and then you got a big injury that you got to sit out for. Or maybe not a big injury, but, you got to miss some time.
Yeah.
But I think the pace of the game is just so much faster now that the human demand, like the energy demand as far as like how hard you got to go and how much it puts on your body, it don't always add up to like longevity throughout the season. And you're probably gonna miss some time as an NBA player in the season anyway if you're playing significant minutes. But I just think the way the game is played now leads to potential for more injuries.
Yeah. And that's potential. That's a high potential, honestly. Because they're moving at a different pace.
Yeah. The game was a lot slower than the old days. And I know the advancement we've had since then is like, it's different. Like all the things, the way the medical staffs, the way the training looks now is a lot different than what it was before. So the game has advanced and it should be better. But even back then, I think the way the game was played, even though more physical, but it was a lot slower of a game. So those little knick-knack injuries and stuff that happens just off of just the athletic movements that you have to make. I think maybe, we didn't have to worry about some of that as much back then. But again, I have no science to back this. It's just a theory that, I think we're moving way too fast up and down the floor right now.
What about East Coast?
East Coast what?
Teams.
Cavs. Early.
Anybody else?
Oh, Knicks has been up and down.
Yes, your boys. What you mean? Up and down. What you mean?
They've been up and down. They 5th. They 4 and 5. They still figuring shit out. Is
the cat experiment working?
We can't say it is right now, currently. He had 42, which is his highest points with us. I forget what game that was, a few games ago. But I can't say it's working right now. They're still figuring it out. Yeah. But they didn't get Cat for right now either. They got Cat to help, deep playoff runs and all that other shit. So I think they expected they got to figure out a lot of shit right now too. Because it's not just Cat. You brought in Mikal Bridges as well, who wasn't on the team last year. So you're bringing in 2 key pieces to your whole thing at a time where you just got to figure it out early in the season. Like those first 25 games of an NBA season, you don't really understand the team's true potential.
Well, that's used to be the case, but now it's a little different.
What you mean?
We have the NBA Cup.
That's still the first.
It starts
few months. Yeah, it does, but it's still the first few months of the season.
But doesn't that the whole point is to incentivize them to play harder.
I'm not even saying that though. Yes, that. But I think a lot of the games early have been competitive, people really putting a lot of high effort into. There's been some close games. Shit, the game we just talked about off mic with the Nuggets and the fucking the Mavs. Great game. Kyrie went bananas, still doing shit at a high level, but those games are competitive early. So I think these teams also understand that early positioning throughout the season is also important. To the
That's
long
fair.
run, you know. But in the Knicks case, which was my original point, they are not. It don't matter if they're playing in the cup or not, if they're incentivized to play well. I just don't think they know how to fit all the pieces together so that everybody's operating at optimal capacity to win games, And that's whether it doesn't help that you don't want to play hard. Not to say that they do or don't, but if you don't want to play hard, it just takes a lot more time. But when they try to figure all that shit out, which I think Tibbs always makes his players they buy into playing hard, But I think that right now they're just still collectively figuring that shit out. Same thing that happens when you put too big of a piece on any freaking team. It takes some time to gel with the other people on the roster. Where do you like the ball? How is your temperament in the first quarter? How aggressive do you like to get in the second half of the all those things matter to where you feel out a team. And often players get onto a team with other great players and they don't want to step on each other's toes. Like the Clippers last year, when they had James Harden come in, that shit was looking crazy for a little bit. The first few games was this is the roster, and then they went on a stupid run. Injuries and all that shit got in the way with Kawhi getting hurt again. But, when you put two big enough pieces on the roster like that, then you have to figure that shit out, how y'all play together. Yeah. And I think they're in the middle of that right now. So I do expect them to be better.
We'll see how it turns out.
Yeah, for sure.
Experiment. It's an experiment for a reason.
But that's why I said, again, the Cavs, the way they came out the gate, they storming 11-0 right now.
If they maintain that, though. That's my only worry.
No, they're not going to go undefeated. But I do think
they're supposed to do something.
They're gonna
to me, if we were picking favorites for the NBA Cup, they're my favorite right now.
Sure. If you care about the NBA Cup, which I don't, so
you always
I ain't really worried about that shit.
Stop hating on the NBA Cup, man.
I ain't worried about that shit, man.
Why are you hating on it? It's a cool little
I
trophy.
understand it because I played in cup situations overseas in Europe. I understand the premise of it, but that shit don't matter to when you get into late, NBA season.
So if that's the case, does the Western Conference Final MVP matter?
Yes.
How's that matter? But yet,
because it's a 7-game series. So, that is my issue with the NBA Cup. It's not to say that I don't respect it being a cool thing to throw out there for players to do to incentivize them to gain more eyes on the league because y'all want to play harder because now everybody gets $500,000 and all that other shit. I get the incentive. I just don't like not having a chance to get my lick back as a team for something competitive.
You get the championship.
No, but it's a one and done thing.
Oh, for the cup.
It's a single elimination tournament.
It's a cup. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, which I like about a cup, but you don't get to figure out who the better team is really until you got that back and forth. That's why I like 7-game series. Because it's like,
but if that's the case,
by that time, if you make it the way to the end of a 7-game series and you win that shit, you was the better team in that series. Like, there's no debate in that shit. You give somebody
outside
7 games.
Outside somebody injured.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, because those things happen.
You know, like, a la KD in the finals when Toronto. Like, yes, I get all that shit.
Yeah.
But if you got both teams at maximum, like, they operate in the maximum health and maximum like, they really just playing well. If you got that and you say there's 7 games first of y'all to get the 4 wins, like, you're going to find out who the fuck is who.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what I think is better about the playoffs, the NBA playoffs, which is why it means more than the NBA Cup, because you really have a chance to test yourselves against other teams and see who's the better one at the end of it. You know, NBA Cup is like, if I get hot that night, like, then you out of there. If I get hot the next game, then you might be out of there too. The same thing I say about March Madness, which I respect March Madness because there's no other way to do it in college.
I was going there. I was going there.
There's no other way to do it in college.
So you give it a green light for college, but then you say it's wrong for the NBA.
I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's wrong. Do it because I understand why you're trying to do it. I'm just saying I don't respect the weight that you want to put on a championship for the NBA Cup when it's thrown into the middle of something that's already established like that. College has always been that way.
But it's the same concept. They literally come from college and go into the NBA.
I understand that. But again, if you are in a single elimination game, anything can happen.
That's what my point is. It's like,
which is why it makes it interesting. I understand that.
But that to me means it's a higher burden, a higher level of difficulty to win the NBA Cup.
Ain't nothing harder than beating a team multiple times that's like just as good as you or like in the same ballpark as you.
That's fair.
It's nothing harder than that.
Okay.
It's nothing in sports.
You was telling me how hard it is to get to from the what's the name to the Final Four. Like you were saying
hard.
It's hard.
It's all hard, but again, it's all difficult. I'm not saying it's not a level of difficulty that exceeds a lot of other things in life.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when you have to do it throughout a collection of games, you two are matched up. On the other side of it, there's another series. Or on the side of it, there's a trophy. We're going to give y'all a certain amount of games to figure this shit out. And at the end of it, one of y'all is moving on. To me, like, that's the dope. That's like
that's the pinnacle, in your opinion?
Yeah. You know, that is the and it's a lot shorter, like, event, I guess, but that is like the boxing match. You know what I'm saying? Like, the first team come out, they throw a couple punches. The other team, second game, they come out, they counter like that. You know, boxing match is a lot shorter. It's only one night. I understand, but
I know what you're saying. No.
Walk with me on this one. Like,
I get where you're going.
You know, but it's like little boxing match, the chess game. You get to see how coaches like make adjustments and do this and like that shit.
Sometimes they don't make adjustments.
Sometimes they don't.
I get mad at them coaches.
Nah, 100%. Well, but it's good. It's interesting to see what changes tactically throughout a series versus just the one game, you know? Because one game, you're going to scout them, this is what they do, these are what their players are, this is what their tendencies are, this is how we want to go about and attack these things, this is what we want to do on defense, and let's go see what happens. But you come out there and your star player shoots 1 for 14 that night, and y'all lose. Like,
yeah, it's tough.
You know, like, then you're out the tournament.
Yeah.
Which is why it hurts more on the March Madness side, because just like one game can really define your season.
It's over.
On that. And it's done.
It's over.
And it's done. You know, having been there myself, I think we should have made it to the Final Four a few times when we was at Marquette, but the shit just didn't go well on the wrong time, and we getting put out.
Yeah.
But if it was a 3-game series and we lost the first one and we like, all right, let's look at this shit. Let's go back. Let's chop it up. Let's watch the film. And next time we go back out there, I bet we got this shit.
That's
tough. Different story.
That's
different
tough.
story.
I just feel like, they're changing things about the NBA, and that's another change. I'll welcome it. I've always been a big fan. Now. I've been a big fan of it, obviously, because, the LeBron GOAT James is the first inaugural champion and MVP of it. But
we know.
That being said,
we know.
I do I do hear you, and I do understand why you have an affinity for the NBA finals and that process.
Match,
I just feel like if we're giving credence to the Western Conference final MVP, then how many does LeBron get in retroactive fashion.
You're gonna find a way to make it about LeBron.
Nah, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like, we're giving out these accolades now, but
I mean, I've always felt that way about the Western Conference final. Like, those things matter again because it's a series. And off LeBron, we'll keep it on LeBron because the next year.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Go right ahead.
I'm just saying because a lot of things is happening in the Bronnyverse.
You want to roll this one out because we talking about. Go ahead.
I think things are changing in the landscape of NBA. Right, when there's people that are coming to the G League. And their games are getting sold out, a la Bronny James.
That's where you want to go first?
A la Bronny James.
Go ahead.
And, his recent debut to the G League.
How did the debut go?
I think it went fine.
Okay.
What is the standard?
Go ahead.
What is the standard of a Bronny James? Like, I don't understand what the standard is. Is he supposed to be LeBron? He's not LeBron.
We know that already.
We know that. So what is his standard?
What is his standard?
What is his standard? What is the standard that we're setting for Bronny James?
We don't know what the standard is.
That's
He's figuring it out. And right now he's failing the test.
So how's he failing a test that we don't even know the answers?
I'm sorry. I ain't going to say he's failing the test because that sounds like I'm down on the young man. But, bro, he's not playing. He's not playing well. Like,
he's playing fine.
No, he's not.
He's not, bro. Okay. Minus the turnovers. That's the thing.
5.
He had 5 turnovers.
5.
I'll give you that. That wasn't
scored 6 points.
Yeah, 6 points. But that wasn't.
My homeboy said he consistent across every level he plays on.
That's crazy. But what I'm saying is, if we're looking at the intangibles, he's moving on the floor, got some vision, he's trying to do his best. You're gonna get adjusted. I think also you gotta understand that the G League guys aren't playing; they gunning for him.
Yeah.
It's just like when Caitlin Clark came to the league. She had a rough time. She was starting too. So I don't look at it as she wasn't as soon as she came out, she had problems. She had turnovers. The same thing happened.
But the thing is, it's not his first game of the season in the G League. It's his first G League game, but it's not his first game of the season.
So, but again,
he's had NBA court time with his father, which we all went around in, all that other bullshit. Like, we had that already.
Beautiful.
And he's been on the court with NBA level talent of players in those environments, and he comes down to the G League. You're expecting more than 6 points and 5 turnovers.
You're expecting more. I'm not.
I would say that the people that are in charge of that whole shit over there, like as far as him coming down to say, Bronny's now on our team, the G League team. I think they were hopefully expecting a little bit more than 6 points.
I don't think they were. Do you understand? Understand?
Because the thing is, when players get sent, the real players that go up and down within the G League, sometimes they'll play on an NBA team and get sent down, and they're gonna kill.
Yeah,
they're gonna kill.
They're hungry.
Not even just hungry. They're
sharks in the water.
They're better players. Like,
I'm not saying they're
better
not.
players. I'm not saying Bronny's not hungry. I think he's hungry. I just don't think he has the tools.
I disagree.
I don't think he has the tools.
What I'll say is, when you're looking at what success is, this is a great conversation in EFS, right? What are we determining as success for a Bronny James debut? If you break it down from the business side, that was a most successful thing because it sold out. Sure. You know how much those tickets cost?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
$200.
That's cool. All
$200 is the cheapest ticket.
The business side of it is great. All that for them.
That to me is a success.
You have a big draw.
Exactly. It's a success for the business.
How long does that last, though?
It depends on how long he's in the
Bronny's still playing like that 2 weeks from now, you think them tickets still going to be the same price?
Yes.
Mm-mm.
He's a draw. Mm-mm. You got to understand, he's bigger. He's a bigger
Unless
name.
the people just going to start coming out overwhelmingly to hate on him, then...
They won the game.
Sure, they won the game. But again, how long is this going to last with him playing like that and everyone feeling like he has so much potential? Like, he's still...
Wait, don't lose sight. He's a second-round pick. He's not...
Sure.
He never was supposed to come out and be superstar. And I think that's where, if they play him a certain way, and I think what he's going to end up being, right, is one of those people that are like a Pat Bev, like a defensive, maybe he can pop up, shoot the three.
Pat Bev to drop 20 a lot.
Yeah, but he's very seldomly doing that. He's not doing that every game.
I ain't seen it from Bronny once.
I know, but we only saw him a handful of times too on the court. He's not like he's been playing a lot
because he's not good enough.
Okay, all right. So we just gonna ride this one to the wheels fall off
because he's not good enough.
I'm giving you my 2 cents as to what Bronny James' game is, Not necessarily whether or not he's going to be a superstar. I don't see Bronny as a superstar player. He is an effective
I'm not even saying
defensive
superstar.
player, defensive focused player that will be able to give you honest minutes, get you a couple of assists, get you maybe a couple steals, and just be a pure defender on the ball. Whoever he has to do, he can run that. The athleticism is there.
For me, you better be able to be a great defender if you can't provide much of shit else on the basketball
Draymond
court.
barely scores 20 points.
Right.
But
Hall of Fame defender.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. I think
I don't even see that potential with Bronny.
Okay.
I do not see Drew Holiday potential with Bronny.
I don't know game you've been watching.
I do not
him.
see Tony Allen
Watch that
level
watch that boy defend. He's all three through. He gives me.
I don't see it, bro.
I've seen a lot less dynamic players do worse on defense than Bronny James.
I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't have the physical attributes to be. Well, no, I don't even think he got the physical. He's too small.
He's too small.
He's too small. He's not tall. He's not big. Like he does. He's not overwhelmingly like he's quick. And I'm sure he's strong. He works in the weight room. So yeah. But I don't think that shit really matters on that level to like locking down or being able to like really bother people.
He's quick, agile. He has good court vision. He has good hands, active hands. I mean, I think he'll be fine. I'm just giving you got your opinion. I got mine. There's some bridges we ain't gonna cross together. You know what I'm saying?
That ain't one of them.
That's not one of them.
I know for sure that ain't one of them. You know. But shouts to Bronny though.
Sold out, man. Keep getting that money, man.
I hope that you actually start to develop and are able to add a little bit more on the offensive side of the ball.
Don't be surprised if you get a Bronny James jersey for Christmas.
Ooh. You give me a Bronny James jersey for Christmas, I guarantee, like, I'm just gonna be like, hey man, like, you know, this is just a joke. This is like a joke gift. Because you know sometimes people like to give you gifts as a joke.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a Bronny James jersey.
Like one time I got a book about like, you know, what you know how your shit look different times. It was called What Does Your Poo Say About You? Like somebody got me a Christmas gift that they gave me that book. Because I'm big on not to now sound like this, but
health and wellness.
Bowel movements are important. So they got me a book to say like what your poop looks like. Does it float? Does it this? Like this is what it is. So if you give me a Bronny jersey, I'm going to treat it like that whole situation.
Treat it like a piece of shit. Okay, got it.
Yeah. If you want to phrase it that way, then yeah.
Listen, maybe I won't get it. You know what I'm saying? I'll just get like a printout or something. Of Bronny.
Shouts to Bronny though, man. I hate that I got to do this to you every time, but you ain't proving me wrong. So you're not proving me wrong. So I think I'm pretty accurate.
He's a second round pick. Are you looking at any other second round pick with the same level of like?
Yeah,
scrutiny. Ooh, who?
Not scrutiny. The only reason he gets scrutiny is because of the circuit that followed him to the league.
It's not his fault.
It's not his fault, but you got to put up when you got the circus.
I don't think he has to. That's my thing. If he just continues to play his game, continue to develop his skills, he'll be fine, man.
He'll be out the league in 4 years.
Wow. All right. Well,
he'll be out the league in 4 years if he don't develop.
You heard it here first. EFS pod out the year in 4 years. But yeah, if this video gets, I want to say 30 likes, not only will I get a Bronny James jersey, he'll wear it on the next episode.
Who wearing it? Don't wrap me up into your promises to the viewers. Like hell no, that won't be the case at all. You never catch me with a Bronny jersey on. I don't even wear niggas jerseys like that. The people I do like, I don't buy jerseys.
I'll wear it though. It's all good.
I don't buy jerseys like that.
Just make sure you like, comment, subscribe.
Not NBA jerseys, I say.
Come on, EFS gang.
Yeah. Nah, for sure. Get him his likes though, because you know
get 30
we appreciate
likes
all the likes.
We need that.
Hopefully, Bronny can get 30 points at one time in his career. You know.
Oh man.
But that's another.
Speaking
thing.
about fathers and dealing with. Did you want to pivot to that? Or you want to pivot to the other joint?
No, we're gonna do Grammys first.
Oh yeah, we got Grammys, man.
Grammys first. We're gonna
lean
into your wheelhouse for a little bit before
talk that music talk, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's get it. Because it only makes me happy because I get to tote my flag around a little bit.
What flag is that?
The Kendrick flag.
Oh, here he goes.
The Kendrick flag.
Beyonce. Let's talk about Beyonce.
You want to talk about Beyonce?
Because Beyonce did her thing once again. I think she's now officially the most nominations. She holds the records for the most Grammy nominations.
What is it, of a female?
Of any performer or...
Is any?
I think it's any.
All right. Sorry, Beyonce, not to make it misogynistic. Of any, you got it. I didn't know. I think
Jay-Z had the first record, I think. Says her nods for the ceremony brought her to a total nomination 80 count for the most of any artist in Grammy Awards history. Now she shattered the record complete with an additional 11 nominations, right? So she's now the most nominated artist in Grammy Awards history.
Facts. Shouts to her.
I mean, is it safe to say she's reached a level of popularity where she's the queen of something yet? Is she the queen of something?
I don't know.
I'm just thinking about what Beyonce's legacy looks like. You know how Michael was the king of pop.
Sure.
What is Beyonce title wise? She is.
I mean, a lot of people are calling her the queen
of what though?
R&B, pop R&B. I don't know what the fuck you want to call it.
Country now, I guess.
I mean, the album's nominated for Album of the Year, so.
I mean, hey.
So
is she the queen of? She's the queen of something. Queen Bee.
She's the queen bee, literally that. I don't even think you can call her the queen of anything but being Queen Bee, because I know people gonna make the argument on the R&B side, who's been better than her and this is that, whatever. But she's a fucking successful black woman.
She's super talented. I just look at Beyonce's all things she done. Don't necessarily like her acting, but
no, on the acting side, that's garbage.
Neither here nor there. I'm not gonna talk about
not tearing you down, but your acting is garbage. That's not your strong suit. Just stay away from anything.
Look, you can't be talking about the Beehive
show,
like this, man. Let's not.
What do they call it? The fourth wall, whatever.
She broke the fourth wall. You saying?
Numerous times. It's I see right through that shit. I don't believe any character you ever tried to play. But shouts to you. Grammy nominations, all that shit, musical success. Cowboy Carter is nominated for Album of the Year. I didn't realize that it was that big of a album for it to be that considered in that way,
Mm-hmm.
I think it kind of came and went, but I'm not tracking numbers throughout, singles. Yeah, she has some big singles off of there.
She did.
So I think that helps, but shouts to her. We'll see if she brings it home after the whole Jay-Z debacle from when he said this woman doesn't she's so hardworking, she's never won and that all that
she
shit.
she does to me get left to the side a little bit.
We know what that is though.
Wait, what is that? Let me just.
I ain't gonna go there.
Come on, talk, man.
Nah, because I went too hard on the politics, and I'm gonna go back. But end of the day, she's dope.
She's amazing.
You don't get that far from not being successful in the music industry, and shouts to you. But
do you watch award shows? I don't watch award shows.
Not no more.
Yeah, I used to watch award shows.
I
don't watch award shows only because
they just getting trasher and trasher from what I heard, because I see the reviews every time after, and they don't be great.
After the slap heard around the world, I think I kind of stopped.
I ain't even watched that live.
Yeah, I watched it live. It was crazy.
I ain't even watched that.
After that, I was just like, what am I watching? What am I doing here? What are we doing, man? Here?
Yeah, shit don't be that interesting.
I'm kind of over it. I'm kind of over the whole Met Galas and all that too. I think that we can spend our time doing a lot.
We don't even know what the fuck happens at the Met Gala outside of people walking in that shit. So,
that's fair. I mean,
at least the Grammys is the actual show that people can walk into, and then you can see them at the show. But I don't watch none of them shits.
No, I don't watch none. I don't watch it either. Yeah,
I check for the the highlights and the things that happen, the performances and all that, because you can watch that on YouTube now. But the actual show, I'm sitting down for 2-3 hours. Well, hell no, I ain't got that kind of time.
No, it's too much.
Not for that, at least.
It's too much.
Not for that.
Your boy is. I figured you watch this because your boy is going up, like you said. He's got a lot of nominations.
That's a fact.
Psst, I see dead people.
I had it queued up.
Hey,
yeah, come along. Come along. YouTube, don't do me like that when we post this either. We're just gonna stop it there. We ain't gonna go too heavy. We ain't gonna go too heavy.
I mean, can I say this without being?
Say whatever you gotta say, bro.
I'm kind of over this song. It's kind of like when I hear it now, it's like, all right, bruh, we heard it.
Until you hear it in the right setting.
No, even in the setting, I'm like, oh, they're gonna play this again.
When the last time you heard it in the right setting?
I mean, it all depends on what the right setting. After the summer, I heard it 2 times. One was at
that shit rang off for band season.
I mean, to me,
the HBCUs and all that.
That's fine.
I seen a band. Was it Morehouse? Morehouse was playing Howard that weekend. We was up in Jersey.
Yeah,
and they played that shit going through the mall.
Yeah, I know.
Rang off still.
I mean, that was what, September?
Yeah,
it's November.
Sure.
It's a little.
Wasn't that long ago?
It's 2 months. That's a lot of time.
Wasn't that long ago?
It's a lot of time. And I think for me, at least, if I'm in the club, I don't want to hear it at this point.
I mean, of course, because that's just how music works. But it's still impactful. Like,
it's very impactful.
We can see by the noms.
Yes, it's very impactful. Biggest song of the year, probably.
And that wasn't even the only song. Like even the Like That song was nominated for.
Like That was nominated too.
What the fuck that shit was nominated? I think Song of the Year or Record of the Year?
One of them,
something like that. But either way,
I just think that does this mean that Kendrick is number one now?
I think he's had the best year of anyone in hip hop. Easily.
Yes, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. And he didn't release an album, which is kind of crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Like
it's kind of crazy when you think about it.
No
number
album,
one song, no album.
I'm gonna just tear apart your favorite artist and look what it does. Super Bowl performance.
Crazy. It's crazy.
Well, there's a lot of Drake people that still say that Kendrick didn't win, which is fine. That's your opinion and all that shit. But the delusional motherfuckers. Yeah. Either way, like the year he's had he's been on a crazy run, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's probably one of the best runs we've seen in a long time.
In a year's time, a long time. I think crazy so. Run. With no album, with no album,
no press work, no nothing. He didn't run numbers up.
I think DMX has probably had the best year of any artist in hip hop that you can say hands down, like as far as the success of albums and stuff like that. But without an album, Kendrick easily.
It's crazy.
Easily. And I'm looking forward to the rest of it, too.
Only rivaling, I think, is in this era would be the This Is America when that drop went crazy. This Is America.
Yeah, sure.
Don't Keep Me Slipping.
That was a moment.
It was a crazy moment.
It was a
Got
moment.
him a Grammy, too, I think.
No doubt. But this is going to get Kendrick multiple Grammys. Like,
you think so?
Hell yeah. You
think he's going to win it?
Hell yeah.
Okay. We'll see.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the first time
I don't think he's gonna win all of them shits, but
it wouldn't be the first time they snubbed Kendrick though. Remember they gave it to Macklemore,
and that to me like that, and that was for album of the year, right?
Rap album of the year.
Rap album of the year.
They gave it to Macklemore.
Yeah, but he ain't even in an album. He ain't got no album. But the ones he's nominated for, I think some of them would be a shame if that Grammy was not his at the end of the night.
You know where we are though. Let's not.
Yes, but there's also certain shit that's undeniable too. Like
we'll see,
especially in like rap.
Let's say this: if he does lose, I won't be surprised.
I hope you're not. I would know what it is if he's like he loses. I'll be able to call it what it is, just like we called it what it was with the Macklemore shit. But I don't think that there's not a snowball's chance in hell that he's not walking out of there with multiple Grammys that night.
Yeah, but
at least 3 or 4.
The biggest one is what we want, though, right? The song of the year or. Record of the year, whatever it's called.
I wouldn't be mad if he didn't win that one.
Really?
But I would know he deserves to win that one still.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad if he didn't win that one because of who we talking about.
Not like us was everywhere. Right. I don't care who you were.
That's why I think that like the undeniable nature of the song is going to give him multiple like Grammys that night.
Interesting.
Song of the year, that can go. But even that to me is like you tripping if he doesn't get Song of the Year. Because
we'll see.
White people, black people, everybody
knows that song.
Yeah.
It's undeniable.
I knew that shit was a smash when I was at some. I was at Vanessa's house. Vanessa's in.
Yeah.
She had it was a 4th of July or something. It was like right around that time, like summertime in the midst of the summer. I think it was 4th of July because it was fireworks. Yeah. I was at her crib. She invited me. I'm just like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna pull up. Different setting than I normally do these. Yeah. But I said, fuck it, I'm gonna pull up. We had a good rapport, so I went to the house. That shit came on in the crib. Crib full of white people. Full of.
Hold on now. Wait a minute.
Full of.
But isn't that a little.
What?
Like, how can. Let me leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Where you going with it?
Because I feel like they not like us.
That's different. That's too layered. Like
is it?
That's too layered. Like I think
he's talking about that, isn't
it? I ain't going there.
I'm just talking the truth.
I just know the song came on in that crib, and it wasn't like people were surprised at what the fuck the song was. Like
so if I went to a PWI and played They Don't Like Us and everybody in the crowd dancing, would that be...
What's PWI?
Predominantly white institution.
Oh, okay. That's what they call them?
Yeah, PWI.
All right.
Versus HBCU.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, PWI.
Got it.
So I went to a PWI.
Been there.
And...
Been there for sure.
Yeah. And if I went to a PWI and played They Don't Like Us and had a bunch of white people singing along to it, would that not be the antithesis of the opposite of what he was intending with the song?
A lot of people that ain't like him listen to that song. Like this shit was the biggest song in the fucking country.
I'm just saying.
It don't get that way unless those people listen to that song.
Okay, that's fair.
The original messaging of the song, I think that's for us. You know what I'm saying? But it don't mean that they can't bop along to it too.
I guess.
Yeah. So
once upon a time, we was in chains. I'm just like
no doubt they gotta hear that shit too.
Sing the song and relate.
They're not relating though. They just like, oh yeah, it's like, give us a lesson, Kendrick. Thank you.
Oh, okay, all right, copy.
Is this what happened? Yes. Thank you for your take on the path of your people throughout slavery and all that. Like, yeah, they gotta rock with that shit too.
Yeah.
But it was cool. That's when I realized, oh, this shit is like big. Like
it's bigger than any,
because the clubs and all the other shit, it's like that's when you know that song has reached like its undeniable connection to just the state of the music culture, not even just black music culture. Like, because that shit was just on some shuffle that she had some list playing in, and it was a bunch of different songs on the shuffle, and then that shit just dropped. And then I looked around, I'm like, this is the first time I'm like around mad white people, like, all right, let me see how this shit ring off. And it was like, all right, yeah, they bob into it. Like, they knew the song. Like, it wasn't like they were singing the shit word for word, but they had a very familiar, like, oh, I've heard this song before. I know what this song is.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, see, that's when you're going somewhere. That's the Beyonce's, like, when she cut through and drop a slap that they even connect to, like that type of shit. That's when the song is big.
It's big.
And that's when it's undeniable to me. It is undeniable. For that, just the impact of it, like, yeah, that shit got to win. So we see how it go, but shouts to Kendrick, shouts to all the nominees.
Beyonce.
Yeah, I hope she win one, man. Yeah. I hope she win one.
Competing against Kendrick is gonna be hard.
Yeah, it will be. It will be. But she got, she has a chance. I'll say that,
Mm-hmm.
But that's that on that with the Grammy thing. I guess the last thing we'll get through is our Real Talk segment
Real
for the day.
Talk.
This one is provided by Waldo Black, so I'll let you roll this one out. Because I ain't even really realized this shit. I don't know how I did it, but this is just how I know I'm not that connected with people's lives. But yeah, you got it.
This is not necessarily, it's a deeper conversation, and it's really about fathers in the black community and how we are our biggest and brightest, right? When we're talking about people that are in the positions to set standards, to be role models, so to speak, how common is it for us and our black men to move in a way that is narratively counter to what the proposed best possible environment is for bringing in children into the world? Let me introduce you to one Anthony Edwards' girlfriend, Shannon, who says she's tired of folks wanting her to be sad about his serial cheating, and she's not leaving. In a live video, she stated, "If I got to unbaby daddy him, then I got to unbaby daddy the first one," while referring to her first child she had with Chief Keef. Edwards' most recent scandal involves him filing documents to determine if he is the father of Aisha Howard's newest child. "Y'all just finding out," Shannon exclaimed while addressing fans, "the fake outrage that y'all have and y'all want me to be hurt. I'm hard body, baby." She continued before bursting into an uncomfortable laughter. She ended the live by asking to compare bank accounts with the people judging her life. Shannon Edwards first went public in 2020, and she's been courtside at his NBA games ever since. But bedside, probably not. Edwards welcomed several outside children after their relationship announcement. His first child was with a woman named Deja in September of 2023. Then he welcomed the son a month later in October with a woman named Allie. Shannon and Anthony did welcome a child earlier this year. Thoughts, man? All these children, the structures are unique. This isn't the first time we've heard it in our community, a la Nick Cannon and Future, and the list goes on. Is it a consistent problem? Is it a problem? Is it wrong? Is it right? I want to know the perspective, because as for me, one of the major things, right, as what I wanted to do when I was like on this journey, like I want to have kids, I want to do these things, I want to set up my life. I said I want to do it in a way that was counter to what my father did. Only because that's what I experienced, and that divorced situation I seen the back and forth, it was very, very difficult for me in my youth, you know what I'm saying? Being in that, I understand it's not easy to keep relationships going. It's not easy to raise kids. All of these things aren't easy. But are we contributing to a cyclical behavioral pattern by us having these stars, having these people in the limelight, having the biggest names, the brightest lights, and they're being counter to what we know is the most righteous way to move, which is to have the marriage, the things like that, to coincide in that fathering aspect, not having a bunch of kids out of wedlock. Give me your take. I'm just posing questions and perspective. And I want to hear your thoughts too, EFS family. This is real talk.
My perspective is if you like it, I love it.
Yo, stop. We're not here to do that.
I'm dead ass serious. Like,
if you like it, I love it. All that I
know this is
real talk.
I know this is real talk. We try to keep real talk a little bit more on the not serious side of things, but more like, you know, the, I guess, moral or just in general something that sticks to the ribs a little bit more. I guess,
of course.
Than the other topics we discussed.
We got all the honey. This is the medicine.
Yeah, nah, for sure. But my perspective on that, again, is you like it, I love it. Like, and this is just background on me, like, I am multifold. So before, like, let me land before, you think.
I got you, bro.
But I'm the person that, like, I wanted to have a child before marriage. Just because I believe it does help you to understand certain things about the person that you choose to father / mother a child with as you do it together. You learn a lot about that person, and that makes you either want to stay with them and, really, really build a foundation, build a family, and then make it for the long haul. Or you like, I might need to get away from this person just because I'm seeing some things that I don't really, vibe with in that way, Anthony Edwards situation, I just think some niggas don't like to wear condoms. And, like, this is the same guy that we just seen, was it last year, when he was in the news for making a girl take the pill and send him the video, the Plan B pill, when that whole scandal came out,
That's what I'm saying,
So
bro.
we know you got a problem. Like, sexual discipline for a lot of people is an
dick
issue.
discipline, that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, sexual dick, whatever you want to call it, but like
the dick discipline episode, if you ain't know.
I mean, hey,
no, I'm just teasing.
I might have to put dick in the title again and see if we get some more views.
We get some views, yeah.
Hey, man, listen, but I think we know he has an issue, like, with.
Do we?
Yeah, to me, like, because I know you don't want that many kids. Is the thing. There are certain people, a lot of Nick Cannons and ever, that said, like, I'm out here to sow my oats. Like, I want to grow a nation, those type of motherfuckers. And to me, if you are able to father all those children effectively, whatever effectively is for you and the baby moms together as a unit, if y'all able to do that effectively, and then, you have the financial means to be able to support everyone, then live your life the way you choose, because righteous to one person may not be to another, depending on where they at. Like, am I a believer that multiple baby moms can be problematic? Hell yeah, which is why I believe that anyone that goes about it in a way that's, like, just willy-nilly, and I can't put a rubber on, and I can't, like, stop getting girls pregnant because I don't pull out, like, that type of shit, then you got a little bit of a sexual discipline issue. Like, you just out here to fuck, and then you live with the ramifications of it after doing this multiple times now.
Yeah.
So for me, like, my perspective is, if you have someone with you, and it's the same thing with the Watch Jazzy girl, with the whole shit with Cam Newton, where she said, like, can't nobody tell me nothing about my nigga that I don't know, et cetera, et cetera. Like, people set their lives and their relationships up in a way that they like,
Yes.
And if the woman and you, speaking as a man, if the woman and you have an understanding about what you're doing out there, and she is happy with whatever you provide her, whether it be financial, whether it be you're just okay as a woman with a guy having multiple partners and then you're just sticking it out, whatever that case may be. If you like it, I love it. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. From Anthony Edwards' perspective, like, bro, put a rubber on. Like, put a rubber on. Like, if you're going to try, and I've been vocal that I've, played the field and been out here to see what I can get from my status and all that other shit. But, bro, do it in a way that's smart. Like, nobody want that many kids, just a bunch of fucking headache, bro. And then you got to run down people people got to run you down to spend time with the kid or provide the money for the kid and all that. Like, to me, it's like, just put on the rubber, bro.
Yeah.
Put on the fucking rubber. Like, stop being irresponsible. That, to me, is the real talk. Like, stop being fucking irresponsible and getting all these girls pregnant because you create more headache for them and yourself because you just want to live in that way. Like,
yeah.
And I understand it feels better without. Like, get it. Sure, all that other shit. But, bro, if I'm a multi-millionaire, I'm not trying to keep writing checks for this kind of shit. Like, or you are because you got it and you don't give a fuck. And again, if that's your life, then go ahead and do that. But for me, I do think it's a little bit irresponsible to be that willy-nilly with your dick that you got multiple kids.
Yeah.
Coming from a father who's had kids with multiple women, bro, like, I'm a product of that myself. Something that I never wanted to be. My father, love him to death, but 8 kids by 5 women. So at the end of the day, we know his path.
And it's cyclical. That's what I'm trying to say. We're talking about generations on generations of black men choosing to do it this way, and I'm like, how do we get
choosing is and not to be semantics, but choosing is also important. Like, the wording is also important to use it, because I don't think people choose to do this way. I think that they are unable to change to make a different outcome for themselves. Which leads to the irresponsibility.
Who makes the ultimate decision on whether or not they move forward with the sexual actions?
They do.
That to me, that's a choice.
I know. I understand what you're saying, but I'm trying to open you up to understand that people in those positions, like, and it's not to say that this is that, but like, people who are sick mentally don't often know they're sick. So they just are operating from a perspective of this is the habit that I'm doing and they can't break out of it. So a choice.
But they can pull out of it.
Yes. But why do you feel the need to go about it that way, not pull out and all that? Just like, you got to examine that to see, like, because if you know it's bad for you, then why do you keep repeating the same shit is my thing.
So you're saying that they are not, the accountability isn't on them, it's on the sickness that they have?
No, it's on them, but I'm saying choice is not, for me, the operative word in that situation. Just
what would be a better word then?
I think,
because I'm gonna give it to you the way you're gonna give it to me now.
Maybe not necessarily choice, but they're just not self-aware enough to make a different, like, decision.
I think the lack of self-awareness still is a part of the choice.
That's fair.
Right.
I mean, you can look at it that way.
I still you can not be aware, but you're still choosing to make the bad decision because you don't understand that down the line this affects the whole,
no doubt,
connection.
I think it's an addiction, if I'm just being honest.
You think it's an addiction?
Mm-hmm.
A sexual addiction?
In some ways, yeah.
But what's the piece to not wear the condom? So I can understand you saying that
because it feels better without.
They're sexually
addicted to that feeling, and you don't think that you can have intercourse with a woman in that way and then still enjoy it with one on.
Or the pull out. See, there's other pieces.
Or the pull out,
or the birth control, or the what I mean. There's other pieces are like.
But I mean,
even men got birth control now.
The birth control thing, you ain't checking those chicks like that, especially if they just.
No, I'm talking about men. They have men's birth control too now.
I mean, well, all that shit to me is just irresponsible. Like, I'm not saying I'm disagreeing with you about the overall premise. I just think that he can't see better choices, so he can't make better choices. I think he's just wrapped up in whatever he's doing right now and not thinking outside of, like, the ramifications that this could have.
It's not just him though. I'm just saying the culture is doing this. It's not just him. Like, if you gave real life experience from your personal perspective, I know my father has 2 different baby moms. Like, I think this is a generational curse that I think we have embedded into our culture That
our culture, as far as who though?
Black men.
Because I don't think it's just a black man thing either.
Like, black women too.
No, I'm saying
like
I think other races have those issues.
No, I'm not saying that, but I can't clock them. I'm not going to speak for the cultures that are outside of ours because I'm not. I think
it's man culture. Like,
you think it's just all men are just making
people of other races have multiple children with different. Yeah, I've heard of it in multiple races.
I'm not saying it's not, but when you go to celebrity names, like you can't see the same. Like Donald Trump has 5 kids, but he has in marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a least what's the word? There's a mechanism at which the family is still made whole, even when there's multiple kids.
Maybe
when there's attempt to like, oh, we're married.
Maybe
so it cleans it up, quote unquote.
I know some broken families of other races too.
I'm not saying it's not, but I'm saying is I can't clock them. I'm talking about our issues in our community because that's the one I'm a part of, right?
That's fair. I just didn't want to limit it to that because it can sound like, this is a black problem when
it is.
It is, but I also think it's a problem for like other races as well. I
don't think
it's exclusively.
That doesn't absolve us of,
true,
of
but
our responsibilities.
it broadens the conversation to me when you factor in that it's not just black men that do this. It's like men in general sometimes have that issue,
I agree. My only point is we're the ones where our leaders are also the ones on like the pedestal that are doing that as well.
I get it. Anthony Edwards, Tyreek Hill, Mad Kids, like I get it. There's athletes.
It's almost like almost like a what's the word?
But that is where I don't necessarily understand with our community, and I'm trying to be careful with the wording on this. Please. I disconnect what the celebrities and the athletes are doing versus what we're doing on a everyday people kind of level.
Why?
Just because they have different access and different safety nets than we do, in a sense. Like, it's okay for them to say, I'm going to have 5 kids because I got $100 million in the bank, So at the end of the day, everyone's financially straight. Like, Joe Schmo might have 3 or 4 kids and then can't afford to pay child support and might get his ass locked up or,
That's what I'm saying.
So what they're doing on that level to me is just like an access problem. Like, I think that when you get to a certain level of like fame, stardom, notoriety, like your moral compass with certain things changes because it's just like I could throw money at it and that usually will solve the problem. I think people in our community that are, again, the everyday folks deal with real issues for ramifications just off of decisions and choices, as you said, that they make that they can't really come back from. Anthony Edwards is going to be in the news for 2-3 weeks with this shit, maybe, maybe if he has another kid or whatever, like that kind of stuff. But for him, it's not necessarily a real problem because his girl don't give a fuck. She already said, like, y'all can't tell me shit about Ant. Like, I'm not leaving him. Check my bank account versus y'all. She gonna stay there. She gonna be okay with that.
Which is the girl another conversation too,
right? A man who's doing that shit on our level, he gonna lose his wife. He may lose his custody of his current kids with the wife and all the other shit. Like his life can take a different turn from that shit. So that's why I kind of separate celebrity life from the regular everyday people because you might think you can do that shit on their level, but it's gonna hit you a lot harder than it is them. That's why for them, it's like, if you like it, I love it. Like, like they say the fucking, and this is conspiracy, whatever, that they say Jada and Will been swingers for forever. Like, if y'all like it, I love it. If that's how y'all want to live your lives, go ahead and do it,
I don't know about all that.
I mean, personal choice, personal preference.
Yeah,
but, celebrities, they live in a different world for me than we do. So the decisions and choices that they make, while it may look stupid to me, it's like, if you want to have another kid because it's just like, I'm going to write a check and that's it. Like, so fucking Lil Wayne, for another one with mad kids, lives the same kind of way. Like, all right, boom, boom, 50, have a baby by me, baby, be a millionaire. Like, that kind of shit. It's like, it's just a different mentality around that shit because it's not going to really hurt them as much as us, everyday people.
Yeah, but that's what you said. You said something about the self-awareness piece.
Mm-hmm.
I think that self-awareness piece starts because life imitates art, right?
Sure.
And these people, the celebrities, they've become not necessarily art pieces, but they're like what we look at on our TV, what we see in our, and what their actions.
I see the connection you're making.
Are like
I understand that,
sending people down this pathway. To me, that's what the connection is. Because if we're looking at them and we want to be like the stars, we want to live life on those grandiose stages. We want, I guess, the fast life, the cars, the music, the women. Like that's a piece of where the everyday man is getting, I guess, roped in and sucked in.
I get what you're saying.
Cycle.
I get what you're saying. I just, for me, don't know if it's that or just the human problem of sexual discipline. Like,
I don't know. I think it's maybe twofold.
I'm not saying you're wrong. For me, I just don't attribute it. Don't attribute it to that. Like, I don't think people look at like, oh, Anthony Edwards getting all this pussy. Let me go out here and figure out what I can do to like that type of situation.
How many people drink lean because it's in the songs or
I know what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Like, I just don't connect the celebrity life, at least to like the problem whatever you want to call it, the act of going about sexual like relations with multiple women. Like, I don't connect it necessarily to celebrity life. And I know they might have parallels across whatever. And I'm not saying you're wrong, but for me, like, I think the bigger issue is just like people who can't afford that shit putting themselves in negative positions. Not to say expose too much on here, but I have family who was dating someone who they found out had 6 kids. So while we talking about the dude from Love Is Blind last week, like, I know some real shit about real people I know that have been put in that situation. Like, really had the wool pulled over our eyes to where it was like, all right, I'm only going to tell you after a certain point. 6 kids. Like, dude was a ex like military guy or whatever, so he was in the service having kids, because you know how that shit go when you're in the military. They just like the fuck, and shit happens from that. Like, that kind of situation. To me, like, that is like, where is your discipline at, like, sexually? Yes. And I'm not gonna say that I ain't made some dumb decisions to where
I've been there too.
But again, I had no mistake babies and I ain't getting no STDs. So I think I did my best to come out of that situation as unscathed as possible and enjoyed a lot about it for what it was at that point in my life. But, for me, like, when it starts to get to kids being brought into the world, it gets a little tricky,
I think, honestly, my whole point of even bringing the real talk up is because I wanted to make sure we have the discussion. Right?
No, for sure.
I think it's important.
It is a healthy discussion.
We as men, right, we can also many times get sucked in, to the sexual temptation game, right? Whether it's half the women on Instagram are half naked,
no doubt,
right? So we've been roped in and told this. To me, it's a lie that we need some sexual gratification in order to feel successful, in order to feel like we're the man. Like, yeah, you got that John, yeah, you got Shorty, oh, she fired, and all of that becomes it's a trap. It's a literal trap. And I think so many brothers, I'm looking out into the world and I see them running a rat race, chasing behind women, chasing behind money, chasing behind all these things that don't even speak to the greater self and the love of self that you're supposed to have, regardless of whatever woman that you're laying in bed with. You are worthy and valuable by yourself. You don't need that extra external piece in order to determine your worth. And I think a lot of men are trapped, end up having kids out of wedlock, all these other aspects. If we just executed some discipline, remove some of the excess temptation, right? Meditate more, prayer more, like really delve deep in ourselves and really like do the self affirmations, do the work to kind of go, all right, you know what? I'm good. I don't need to go, hop on Shorty's LF. I don't need to go chase down Shorty down the street. Hey, yo, ma in the red shirt.
Sometimes like all of that. Fire.
Like, see, that's the problem right there.
No doubt. But
what I'm saying is, I'm giving you the I think the roots of the issues that speak to the bigger problems that we have in our society.
I mean, yeah, I get
all that. You know
what
I'm saying? Like, a lack of self-love is what to me is the root of this.
No doubt. My thing is only a trap if you let it trap you.
Okay.
That's my thing. Like, being intelligent enough to not do certain things is where you got to either get to or just be to even involve yourself in that type of shit, And that, to me, again, is not disagreeing with anything you said.
Mm-hmm.
I think we both understand that it is problematic in a lot of different ways. It's just, I think, the details of it, we might not exactly align on. And that's fine. Because, again, it's a healthy conversation just because, like, don't be having a bunch of kids. And especially,
facts.
You know, when you ain't going to be there for them. You know, that's my thing. Because the kids ain't asked to be here and they ain't asked to get it wrapped up in your mess just because you wanted to beat it one night and then you on to the next city, on to the next whatever. Like, you know, to me, make better decisions. And that goes both ways, too. Women, too. Because there's a lot of women that want to trap man and do that shit. So not to get too heavy on Ant, like it goes both ways. And that can make this a lot more long-winded conversation, which we ain't got that much time for, but it is problematic in multiple ways. And I think, you know, you just got to be wise when you're moving out here.
Oh,
man.
yeah. The fact that women are choosing men to have kids with them, give them their womb.
Yeah.
It is an issue.
You heard what this girl said. Like
she's staying
check
10
my
toes
bank account
down.
versus check
she's
yours.
staying there.
Like it is a
which
thing
is a bigger
where,
issue as well.
You know
right?
what I'm saying, you know?
But again, we as men, as leaders, right? We are supposed to set the terms of the environment and what we allow,
100%.
what we allow and what we engage in.
100%.
Speaks volumes.
I agree with all that shit. But
we'll see. You know what I'm saying? I'm married. I ain't got no kids yet, so
no doubt.
I can't.
You out the game. You just gotta let these wild motherfuckers do what they gonna do and just judge it for content. You know, that's literally where it's at.
But guys, we want to hear from you. Please let us know what you think. If you have, comments. If you got feelings about our conversations, our real talks, man.
All the niggas with mistake babies, let us know why y'all got them in the chat.
Don't say that. Don't call them mistake babies.
See, mistake babies.
Yo, you wow.
Those are mistake babies. Like, I'm sorry.
Listen, if you want to change, got to be the change in yourself. And that's one of the, going to segue to our quote.
Leave it in the comments, man. I want to know y'all mentalities. I want to understand a little bit more about y'all because I don't. Like, I got one daughter. I may have one more child. I don't even know.
Okay,
but at this point, I want to know what y'all doing because I see it and I really don't understand that shit.
Oh, man.
But shouts to Ant, man. Do your thing. Stop
at least
so
he's doing
threes.
good in the games. I mean, maybe that's what he needs to be a better player.
And we'll get to the quote of the day before we get out of here. But I do think he's shooting too many threes right now. I'm one of those people that he said fuck off to because they asked him why he's shooting so many threes, and he's just like fuck y'all. You know, which is I don't think it's sustainable. And he off to a hot start. Great.
He is.
You know, off to a hot start. I don't think that is the way for him. But
we'll see. He's shooting a lot more than threes. But let's move on a little bit.
There ain't much to move on to. It's just quote time.
Quote time. I think this is a good one. And
always on you.
Because I'm.
I had one prep, but you did leave the last pod.
I did leave the last pod, so it's more on me.
Yeah.
You said anytime I come back from John.
That is the general rule.
That's the general rule. So I'm here.
I'm here.
I'm prepped and ready, man. I'm prepped and ready. So in light of what we just finished talking about, you know what I'm saying, in terms of making change in our communities and all that and beautiful stuff and all that, I want to say this quote here. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow has not yet come. We only have today. Let us begin. Mother Teresa. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow has not yet come. We only have today. Let us begin.
It's only 4 years, y'all. I'm going to leave y'all with that. It's only 4 years unless y'all let it turn to 16 because apparently
the numbers up on this
the Republicans say they have everything they need for a 16-year run, and that's where you have the chance to do something about it if you feel that strongly, That's my last political statement of the year. You ain't getting shit else political for me for the year. Yeah. We almost at the end of the year, so shit.
Yo,
we'll
you gotta do a big jump like for the end of the year pod.
Nah, I mean January.
You gonna do a January celebration?
1 year. We dropped in January.
I'm excited.
Last year.
Let's do it.
1 year.
Let's do it.
1 year. I gotta figure out the exact date, but when we get to it, we'll do something. 1 year content.
Nice.
Shit goes by quickly, man.
Let me know. I gotta eat another EFS cake.
I bet. Yeah.
The little EFS cake.
Yeah, we might have to do a thing. Get the whole gang back together for that or something like that.
That'd be nice.
Throw a little pod party. That'd be
honestly
cool.
Have people just coming in like rotating. That'd be crazy. We'll talk about it. EFS family, we'll talk about it. We'll figure it out.
All the guests from year one.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Yeah. We'll talk about it.
We got good guests coming next week too.
Who we got?
We'll talk.
All right, what's up?
We'll talk.
Ooh.
They got moved. I told you about it, but it got moved.
We got teasers.
Yeah. I mean, if you're checking for it, check for it. But yeah, we got some good ones coming up.
Close us out then, man. You got it.
Yeah, so quote is out the way. I had one, but it's cool. We'll roll with that.
Yeah.
I'll tuck mine in the back pocket. So as always, as we bid you adieu, don't forget to guard yourself mentally, spiritually, and physically in this crazy world, and be great with all things you do. We've touched on it a little bit. It's crazy times ahead, crazy times right now. Everyone just be at peace, man, and just get yourself together up top, Get yourself together up top, and then go out there and do your best with the cards you were dealt. But one more time, don't forget to like, follow, share, subscribe, all the other good shit. We love the love here, but we will wrap up episode number 39 with a peace. We out of here.